Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to session 9 of our total workout series. Thanks very much for joining. Now, if you're new to these sessions, don't worry, they're pretty straightforward. Typically, our sessions are heavily coached, but with this total workout series, we condensed things down a little bit, made it a bit shorter, and just pared down the coaching side of things ever so slightly. So once you've had experience with this session, if you kind of feel like you want a bit more coaching, then check out our other series on our on-demand page, our strength workshops in particular, a bit more heavily coached. But yeah, so it's about 30 or 40 minutes long. Pretty dynamic, not a hit session by any means, but we kind of flow through things relatively quickly. In terms of the equipment, for this session, you're only going to need a couple of things really. Primary of which is a mini band, so much like this sun dry band that we got, and you'll see in the adverts there's actually a discount code for our kit partners sun dried. So do recommend the band in particular, along with of course all their other stuff, these shorts. So mini band, you'll need a chair or a stool, or the exercise that we're going to be using for, you can actually just use kind of like the sofa, just perching on the end of it essentially, and then a couple of dumbbells basically. If you have a selection of dumbbells, then fantastic. If you do have a selection of dumbbells, then you're going to need kind of some heavier ones for the leg exercises, and then some lighter ones for the upper body exercises. Okay. Don't stress though if you don't have tons of kit. There is actually a video on our website that goes through some alternatives, some adaptations, some things that you can use around the house, just in case you don't have tons of kit. In particular, our best kind of recommendation is simply a backpack full of books that can actually do quite a few exercises with that. So yeah, I think that's probably enough chat, unless I'm forgetting something in particular. So mini band, stool, chair or sofa, and then a heavier set of weights and a light set of weights if you have that kind of flexibility. Otherwise, I think we'll get cracking. Okay, so we're going to start with our mini band. Okay, so we're just going to put this above our knees, and all we're going to do is take our feet sort of just slightly wider in hip width, so you want the band kind of really at tension. And then what I want you to do is resist that band, so keep your knees tracking in line with your toes, and we're just going to do some squats. Okay, we're just going to do 10 squats, so keeping our chest upright, our weight in our heels, down we go. So nice and smooth, nice and slow. Don't worry about too much depth right now. We'll just build it up as we go, just about slowly getting the heart rate up and kind of just getting the muscles warm and getting ready to go basically. A bit deeper now, 7 whilst keeping that chest right. 8, 9, 10. Okay, cool. So you can take the mini band off now. You're going to be using this quite a lot in this session, so you do want to keep that one to hand. Then we're just going to go down onto the floor into what's called the 99 position. Okay, so that means one knee is forward, bent to 90 degrees, so my left leg is forward here. My right knee is up towards my left heel. Just take a second, I sometimes get confused just talking about this. So left leg is forward, knee bent to 90, right knee up to the left heel, knee bent to 90. Okay, then what we're going to do, my left leg is forward, so my left hand is going to go out and just off to the side. And then what you're going to do is, I caught this up already. Ah, yeah, I have actually. So left hand comes in behind you, sorry, and then right hand goes on top of the left leg. I told you, it's a bit of a thinker, this one. Anyway, so you're going to keep your back foot kind of glued to the floor, and then what we're going to do is just kind of rotate that knee upwards like so. Okay, so left leg's forward, bent to 90, left hand is kind of in and behind the body, right hand on top of the knee. Right foot is glued to the floor, right knee is kind of coming up and outwards in a rotational kind of movement. Okay, so we're just going to do 10 of these on each side. So 1, 2, wasn't the smoothest of introductions to this exercise. 3, 4, 5, 6. What we're doing is just trying to go a little bit further and just open up the hips a little bit. 8, to get the rotational muscles around the outsides of your hips going, because they're going to be used pretty heavily in the session. So we just want to wake them up. Okay, and then onto the other side. So my left leg was forward foot last time, right leg goes forward this time, left knee goes up to the right heel, right hand comes in behind, left hand on top of the right knee. And then we keep the left foot glued to the floor and rotate outwards. 10, just going a little bit further with each one. 2. So it should be kind of like a waking the muscles up, but also kind of just opening the joint a little bit as well. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, good. Then we're back up onto our feet, taking our legs as wide as we can go. Your toes going to be pointing diagonally out. Then you're just going to bend the knees, okay, sort of squatting down a little bit. Then you're just going to tip over at the hip until your chest is parallel to the floor. And then what you do is just going to put your hands on the floor if you can, and you're just going to start to follow your hands across the floor and lunging across into it. And you should feel a bit of a stretch kind of in your groin area, down the inside of your leg with each one. So we're just going to do 5 to each side. So this is number 3 for me. 4. Just going a bit further. 5. 6. Just really lunging into it. 7. Just going a bit further with each one. 8. 9. 10. Okay, good. Hopefully he's feeling a little bit more loose as we're going. Next one we're going to do is back down on the floor. Okay, legs out diagonally again. Then what you're going to do, put your hands above your head and your arms close into your ears, and then you're just going to rotate towards one foot, and then you're just going to hinge at the hips. You're going to tip over here, keeping your arms close to your ears. Down in front of your foot, you're going to scoop across, back up the other side, down the other side, across, back to the beginning. Okay, so again we're going to do 10 of these. Here we go. So rotate, drop down, across the front, keeping your arms close to your ears, up the other side, across. That's one. It's a really good one for loosening off the hamstrings and just kind of loosening off your lower back as well. Two. Quite an important one. I'm going to do using those hamstrings quite a lot in this session. So again, it's taking a bit of extra time to loosen them off. 3. 4. 8. Further each one. 5. Should start to be feeling a little bit more comfortable. We're halfway. 6. 7. Keeping his arms by the ears, remember. Don't let them drop forwards like this. Should remain by the ears. Got 3 more to do. 8. Last 2. Okay, one more. Good, and relax. So back up onto your feet, just give the legs a quick little bit of a shake. Grab my watch, do the timer at some point. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to go down into the press up position. So we're not actually going to be doing some press ups, but we are just going to go down into the press up position. So what we're going to do into the press up position, and then once you're here, okay, you're just going to shift ever so slightly on your weight to the side, and then taking your hand out in a diagonal. So if I'll face the camera. Let's do it on my knees very quickly. So in the press up, imagine I'm in the press up position. What you're going to do is take your hand out to the side, raising it like that with your thumb pointing up to the ceiling. Okay, so this is a Y raise. We've done various different versions of this. This is to try and wake up your lower traps a little bit. Okay, down sort of mid to lower back. So that's where you should feel it. So you're in the press up position, turn the hand out, and you're just doing 5 of these before we switch on to the other side. Okay, unfortunately there isn't enough depth here for me to kind of do it facing the camera, but hopefully you understand what's going on. So into the press up position, shift your weight a little bit, turn the hand up so the thumb is facing upwards, and then we're just going to do 5 on each side. 2, 3, 4, and then onto the other side. So turn the thumb up, diagonally, your hand is going out in sort of a V shape. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Okay, just quick one for that one. Then we're back up onto our feet. Just putting our hand on the wall, a bit of balance. Check what's behind you. Just doing some leg swings forward and back. Going a little bit, kicking a little bit higher with each one and kicking a little bit further back with each one. There's 10 of these on each side. Okay. And then swap sides. And there's the other one. Again, just loosening off the hamstrings and also loosening off the hip flexors when you're kicking back. So make sure you're kicking back properly as well. 9, 10, and then as per usual, kicking across the body as well, kicking a little bit higher with each one, getting your abductors and adductors woken up. Those are the muscles that kind of stabilize your hips, and as you can see, move your leg to and away from your center line basically. And the other side. So you should start probably getting a bit of a grease on, a bit of sweat, breathing a bit more heavily, heart rate so hopefully gotten up a little bit, but also hopefully feeling a little bit looser, a little bit more ready to go, particularly if you've been sat down all day. Always really good to have, make sure you have a nice warm up mixed with some mobility exercises. Okay, last ones then, arm swings. Coming forward close to the ears, 10 going forwards, and then 10 going backwards. Okay, good. Okay, so just moving a couple of things out of the way. So, first exercise we're going to do is some clock lunges. This is a kind of a Riak favourite, really good for improving hip stability and knee stability. Okay, so the key thing with this exercise is that with each version of the lunge, your knees should be tracking in line with your toes. Okay, so what you're going to do is the first one is you're going to lunge forwards like that, push directly up. You don't do this, I'm just demonstrating, so you don't need to copy just yet. Then you go out diagonally as far as you can go, out to the side. Okay, and then the final one is a reverse lunge like that, so keeping your chest upright. Okay, so you've got forward, diagonal, side, and reverse. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this side on. You can use a bit of weight if you'd like to, just holding the weights up to your shoulders like this, or you can hold them by your side, but when you do the side lunges, they are going to get in the way a little bit, so you're just going to have to kind of pull them up a little bit. I personally would hold them to your shoulders. So we're going to do 4 rounds, okay, on each leg. So starting off with the forward lunge, and with each lunge, you basically want to take as long a step as you can, okay, a nice long step. All right, so weights up if you're using them. Here we go, nice long step, falling into it. Then we go diagonally, knees always tracking in line with the toes, out to the side. Then a reverse lunge, keeping the chest up. So that's round 1. Okay, don't worry if you have to move your feet around a little bit to do each one if you don't have tons of room. That's absolutely fine, just take your time with it. Just make sure you're doing it properly, so nice long steps. If you're feeling kind of compressed in your hip, it means that you're not taking a long enough step. Okay, so this is round 3 for me. Okay, last round on this side. Really power your way back up. Okay, side, and then reverse lunge. Good. Okay, shake the legs out. Get ready to go on the other side. Okay. So, nice long step. Then we go diagonal. Then we go to the side. And then reverse lunge. Haven't thought this one through, it was way too close. Okay, forward. Diagonal. To the side. And reverse. What's your first thought? Forwards. Diagonal, this is round 3. Side. And reverse. Okay, last round. Chest is up, head up. Try to keep your eyes looking forward if you can. It's going to test your balance and your proprioception, which is basically your spatial awareness. Okay? So that's one. That's the first exercise. The second exercise, you're going to need your mini band, and this is a relatively complicated one. I'll just demonstrate without any weight first. You're only going to need one dumbbell for this one and your mini band. So the mini band goes above your knee. So my advice is keep one hand kind of just loosely over the mini band, okay, on the leg that is up, just to help keep it in place. And then what you're going to do, you're going to hold the weight next to your shoulder, so the weight needs to go on the side that is working. So my left leg is forwards, which means my right side is going to be working, okay, which means I want the right weight on my right side. Then what you're going to do is you're going to pound down through the foot on the left side, and as you're coming up, you're drawing your right leg forwards and working against the band until your quad is parallel to the floor. Just going to pause there, you're going to come back down. Okay, so show you in real time. That's what you can do. So you can see each time my hand kind of goes back to the band just to try and keep it in place. Okay, so we're going to do 8 of these on each leg. Okay, so grab your weight, get your mini band above your knees, and then just go into kind of like a superhero stance, one of a better phrase. Head up, chest up. Here we go, 8 on each side, driving through, 1. So here, we're obviously driving through the foot, so that's going to get our hamstrings and quads and glutes on the left side. Then as we're drawing the right knee forwards, working our quads and our hip flexors on the other side. I think that's 5. Really hard to talk, do exercise and count at the same time. Okay, last one. Pretty sure got that wrong in terms of counting. That should be about 8, and then we go on to the other side. So weight is in the other hand, right leg is forwards, weight's up to the shoulder, and then here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Back to the beginning. Now don't worry if the band rides up a little bit. You need to take a quick pause to readjust the band. It's not a big deal. But basically, when you're driving your leg forwards, it's working your iliopsoas, your hip flexors. Okay? And they're quite small, relatively weak muscles, but they're important running muscles. Okay? And also for cycling as well, really. Won't go into pedal stroke mechanics. I was very tempted to go into it. But important for cycling, let's just leave it at that. Okay, so this next one is hopefully a bit of fun. So we're going to do what's called Spider-Man push-ups. Alright, so you can do this on your knees, or you can do the full version. So I'll show on your knees. The premise is the same. So, same normal kind of press-up setup. So coming forward, weight is forward so your shoulders are over your wrists. And then looking forward about 2 or 3 feet ahead of you. Then as you come down, you're just going to draw one knee towards the elbow on the same side. Okay? And and you go for the other side. So what this is doing is, each time you bring one leg off the ground and drawing it towards your knee, your core is having to really brace on one side. So there's an excellent way of kind of killing two birds with one stone. Press ups, obviously working pectorals, your triceps in the front of your shoulders, and then you've got this kind of core element where you're bracing, trying to keep your upper body steady and level. Okay, so we're going to do 10, so that's 5 on each side basically. All right, so you can do this full press up. So I'll show you the full one quickly, exactly the same, just doing the same thing, just doing full press up. Okay, so whichever variety you want to do, you can try both, but let's get ready to go. We're doing 10. Ready, 3, 2, 1. So on your knees or on your toes, weight comes forward, so your shoulders are over your wrist, look forward about 2 or 3 feet, and then down we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, 10. Oh, that one's really hard to talk during. Your body does what's called the Valsalva effect, which is where you hold your breath to keep your torso rigid. Trying to counteract that and say numbers is hard. Okay, anyway, right then. So, grabbing your lighter weights, do a back exercise, reverse flies. So you take the weights, take your feet sort of around hip width apart. You allow the weights to draw your body down. So keeping your legs straight, you're just kind of hinging at the hips until they're just kind of ankle height. Then you're going to turn your palms inwards, and then from this point, guys, if I stand side on, you see my shoulders, my back is rounded. Just retract your shoulders, raised a little bit, so that your shoulders come back to neutral. Okay, we don't want any rounded backs. Then what you're going to do, just bend your elbows to about 15 degrees, and the weights come out in an arc, like that. Okay, so this is all taking place kind of in the plane in front of your stomach. Okay, so not in front of your chest, in front of your stomach. Okay, so I'll demonstrate again. So your chest is kind of going parallel to the ground, but I don't want to see your back rounded. Not I can see, but retract the shoulder blades. Elbows bend to sort of 15 degrees like this, like an orangutan, and then the weight's coming out in an arc, like that. Okay, so it's going to get into kind of it's a scapular retraction exercise. Okay, if you've got rounded shoulders, it'll help to counteract that. Okay, so grabbing our weights, 15-degree bend, looking forward, shoulders to neutral. Here we go for 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or more, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So with that one, guys, as your hands are coming out, the elbow is straight, so you get to about there. Okay, just a quick little tip. Right then, so this is where you're going to need this step, stool, or you can use a sofa. So what you're going to do, get our friend the mini band again. You can grab a weight for this one if you want, guys, and just to jazz it up a little bit. What you're going to do, the mini band is going to go above your knees. Okay, and what you're going to do is slide to the edge of the stool or the chair, just so that your upper back, your shoulder blades, and your head are on it. Okay, and then what you do is just keep your feet slightly wider than hip width apart, so the band is at tension. Okay, and then what you're going to do is just going to drive through your heels, push your hips up to the ceiling, and then you're just going to hold it there for 60 seconds. Okay, so you squeeze your butt cheeks the whole time, pushing your hips up. Okay, this is what we call a hip thrust hold. Okay, and then to make it harder, you can place a weight lightly across the front of your hips. Okay, either way, let's get set up. So feet slightly wider than hip width. Band is above the knees. Knees are resisting the band, so they're staying in line with the toes. And just drop the hips a little bit. And we're going to drive through the heels. Push our hips up to the sky in 3, 2, 1. Up we go. Okay. I'm just going to hold. And then pretty quickly, you should hopefully feel a bit of a burning sensation in your glutes. So the next one, excellent one. We're kind of mitigating the fact that you might have been sitting down all day and your glutes might be a bit asleep. It will burn, I promise that. Okay, so if you feel your hips kind of sagging a little bit, so squeeze your butt cheeks, squeeze your glutes, and push those hips up. So it should be a nice kind of straight line down your front. Okay, so we're well over halfway now, just got 20 seconds to go. Keep pushing those hips up. You might feel things with your bum starting to go a bit numb as you fatigue. Just hold it another 10 seconds, keep your knees out, so they're lining the toes. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, just be very careful coming out of it. And hopefully be a little bit more majestic than that. And you can take the mini band off and just put things to the side for a second, grab yourself a quick drink. But that is round 1, okay? So that's round 1. We've got another round through the circuit. And this time we'll flow through it a little bit more quickly. So we'll be done before you know it, guys, okay? So we've just got those kind of 2 really hard exercises at the beginning, clock lunges and the step ups with the banded hip flexion. And some of things around. So get ready to go. Make sure you've got a clear area. You know, remember you're stepping out to the side, etc. for the lunges. So you just make sure everyone's kind of out of your way. So you step on them. But let's get ready. Okay, so 4 rounds on each side. Weights up to your shoulders. A nice long step out. Here we go. So we go forwards. Then we go diagonally. Then we go straight out to the side. Then we go behind. Keep that chest up. So that's round 1. Keep your chest up, head facing forwards. That's 2. Nice long steps, remember. Test that mobility. 3. Last one. Last round. Forwards. Diagonal. To the side. And relax the lunge. Okay, just drop the weights a little bit. Give yourself let the blood get back into your arms. Shake the legs out. Then we get ready to go on the other side. Okay, so weights up. Here we go. Nice long steps. Forwards. Diagonal. To the side. And then reverse lunge. Forward. Diagonal. To the side. Reverse. Round 3. Forward. Diagonal. Side. And reverse. Okay, last round. Forwards. Diagonal. Side. And reverse. Good. Okay. Put the weight. Just going to need 1 weight this time. You need your mini band. Let's go. There we go. Band goes above the knees, remember. Like so, going into our kind of kneeling, half kneel stance. Okay, hand just kind of holding the band in place on the one side. We're going to grab the weight, doing 8 reps on each side, which comes up to the shoulder. And here we go, drive through the heel, draw the knee up, pause at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and last one. 8. And you swap yourself around. Band back just above your knees. Okay, down into the kneeling stance. Get ready to bring the weight up to your shoulder. There we go. Hold the band in place. Here we go for the last time on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, last one, and 8. Back to start. Good stuff. Take the band off. To the side. You've got those press ups. Okay. Remember, you can do them on your knees with a full press up. Start full press up, drop down to your knees, whatever have you. Okay. And just remember, brace your core. Keep that chest kind of level, keep your hips level. Alright. By the way, let's get ready to go. So hands down in front of you, onto your knees, onto your toes. We then shift our weight forward so our shoulders are over our wrists. We then look 2, 3 feet ahead of us. Here we go for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, last 2, come on, 9, and 10. Good stuff. Well done, guys. Okay, so we've got 2 exercises left, and then we are finished. Okay, so grabbing your lightish weights, taking your feet hip width apart. Okay, legs stay kind of straight. We then hinge at the hips. Well, let's grab the weights first. Let's use them. Let's do this properly. Allow the weights to draw you down to there, just above your, in front of your ankles. Turn your palms in. Retract your shoulders blades a little bit, so you take that round out the back. Elbows bent to about 15 degrees. Here we go for 12. Looking forward a little bit. 1, 2. Try and keep your chest down. Try not to ratchet up. 3, 4, 5, 6, halfway. Chest down. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, last one, 12. There you go. Good. Okay, so we've got the one exercise left, just the banded hip thrust hold. So over to your chair, your stool or sofa, band goes above the knees again. You're using a weight, just draw it in close to you. Okay, then you slide down the edge, whatever it is you're using, just until kind of back to your shoulders and your head are on. Okay, then we start to think about what's going on with the feet. Okay, so you want your knees over your ankles, feet just wider than hip width. Take that band out to tension. Then if you're using a weight, up to your hips. Just drop the bum a little bit, and then we're going to push those hips right up to the sky and hold them there, keeping the knees out. In 3, 2, 1, up we go. And hold. Just keep squeezing those glute muscles. Push those hips up to the sky. Might be burning already. The last exercise of the evening, everyone. Keep breathing. Try and stay relaxed as best you can every time your bum sags. Push those hips right up to the sky again. Coming up to halfway. 30 seconds left. Keep working, keep working. 20 seconds. Oh, this is starting to burn. Keep it going. Hips up. Another 10 seconds. Keep those knees out wide. Hips up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Careful on the way down. Oh, I felt that one. Oh, glutes are going to be on fire tomorrow. There you go then, guys. So that is your session, okay? If you want to do another round, by all means, if you've got it in you. Otherwise, guys, that's your lot. If you've got any questions, guys, feel free to drop us a line. You can always email us or drop us a line on social media. But guys, really well done. We've just got one more session left in the series, so I hope to see you on that one next time. Take care, everyone. Look after yourselves. See you soon.